All right. So, a week ago today, I took myself into the ER because I knew there was something wrong with my stomach. Couldn't hold stuff down. Thought I had constipation. I would be out in a couple hours. Instead, I ended up with major abdominal surgery. I right now have an 8-inch, I think it's an 8-inch incision down my abdomen. And, I just got done watching a If Nothing Changes, Nothing Changes fucking video. And whereas there's a big part of me that wants to say hell yeah to that whole freaking video, that whole realization that nobody's coming, I would like to see a video on how those people actually felt when that moment came. Because, I look back at my life and all of the shit that I've done. Because there's how many times that I heard in that video about if this was a book, if I was writing a book. Oh, I've thought about writing a book. Trying to get and go through all that pain. I don't doubt it would be an incredible fucking book. Because my life really, as down as I get about it sometimes, it has been incredible. And it would make for one hell of a fucking story that right now I'm not prepared to even want to tell. Because I can remember a time where I went into 16 years ago, I had the surgery that led to this one. Because I wanted to be thinner. I mean, ultimately, I could make it about my health all I want. But reality is in my head, I thought that I had no one because I was fat. I have no one, really, because I don't want to be held back. And that's what this experience has taught me. But do I think that this whole thing liberated me? When that realization comes, because I called the closest person I have in my life, sadly enough, and he left me sad. Because I don't even fucking know what his real reasons are. You know what my reasons are? He's still trying to punish me. Because he got cheated on. I'm sorry. It is really hard for me to even take his feelings fucking seriously right now. Because I don't fucking care what he would ever do to me. I would never, ever let somebody sit like that. And then he justifies it. The reality is he left me there. And do I think he would have left me there a year ago before the cheating? Yeah, I do. You want to know why? Because he tries to tell me right now that my emotions are out of control and I'm alone because my attitude is the way it is. Honestly, in my opinion, I am probably one of the more positive people that I even know. Not that I really... No, I know a lot of people. Do I consider myself close with anybody right now? No, I don't consider myself close with anybody. Because I'm it was a week ago today One, most of the world didn't even notice. And those that did, they offer a little bit of help. Thank God that I persevered and I changed my life and made myself who I am so that I could get through this. Because nobody was coming. And the one person that did had to be home because he was going to miss a $200 bonus on his paycheck that he can't afford to miss, as he's living in a mattress in a basement. I'm sorry. I'm looking at a hell of a lot more than a bonus of work that I'm missing. I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. But, you know what I know? Is that I'm not going to lose anything. I own everything that I have. Because I worked hard and I did this all for myself. And in the end, I'm the only one to fall back on. So at worst right now, I'm looking at not making rent for a couple months, which, whatever. I've been here for 30 fucking years. I don't know. I just sat here for a week and watched them tear down the place next to me, and I know what that's costing them. Reality is I am stable enough in my life that I'm not going to lose anything. I don't have much, but it's mine. I have these 2 dogs, I have my chickens, and I have my son. And I have a place to live, and it's a pretty fucking awesome place. I've been stuck here alone for a week. I really haven't talked to anybody but Mike, who's really just made me feel like that I'm too unstable to live without pills, is the reality of his being there for me. And then because I had an emotional little breakdown yesterday, feeling a little sorry for myself, because this is hard. It's not easy. I'm not going to try to pretend any of it was remotely easy. Because when the realization came that nobody was going to fucking come, they had to sedate me. But nobody came. And, well, I'm sorry, because he's going to want a lot of credit for this. So Kevin drove down. Dropped off a couple of coloring books, but he had to get back for his bonus that he'd miss if he didn't go to work. So he stayed for a little bit. And it was a little bit where he just stared at me the whole fucking time and made me feel like I didn't want him there. I had to try to pretend. But by that point, it didn't even matter anymore. Dude, they had me so drugged up, it was after surgery. It didn't matter if you were there or not. When I needed somebody, everybody's got their own whatever going on. And the fact that I might die, that was no never mind. And whatever. Everybody's got their excuses, right? But you know what? What my part of my goal with this whole thing was, is all the motivational videos that you see, to me, all that is telling you is who they are at the end of this. Not the mess that they were in as it was happening, because none of it was easy. And it's a mess. And really, the only thing that keeps me going is knowing that I am strong enough to overcome all of this. Look at the shit that I've been through. And it's a lot for one person. And I'm on levothyroxine right now. I'm barely taking pain meds. Which, the whole fucking AA crowd, there again. I went without any meds. Good for fucking you. I'm not that person. Pills were never an issue, and I've got a lot to take care of with no help. So, I'm a weekend and I'm moving around, in my opinion, pretty good. And life will keep moving. And right now, I'm completely surrounded by the life that I have created for myself. And right now, that's the other thing. He makes me feel bad because I closed the curtains in here, because I really... The world is not a very pleasant place. And I don't, right now, feel the need to see outside. My world in here is pretty fucking amazing. And nothing he can say can change that. And then he apologized the next morning. He was calling the hospital out of guilt. And that's really what it was about. And by that point, I was so desperate to have him here. And have somebody. And all he really does is make me feel like I'm not good enough. And then if he gets confronted on it, all I get is that I'm miserable. And then he won't talk to me, which is what he did to me yesterday. Again, I'm having a rough time because I just had major fucking surgery, and this is tough. I'm emotional and feeling a little sorry for myself. And I don't deserve to get talked to for an entire fucking day again. Is that really how you deserve to be treated? But you know what? At this point, I let him back in here. And there's nothing positive that he has to say to me. Oh, you'll snap out of it. Thanks. I just don't know. I don't know what people think that's going to help. Oh, you're strong. Wow. Thanks. I mean, doesn't anybody stop to think about how they would like to be treated? I mean, if you were the one sitting on the couch with an 8-inch incision down your abdomen, not knowing what the future holds, do you want to hear about how strong you are? Because you're not feeling real strong. You know what? That just shut the conversation down is what it does. You know what? What people need is their hand held. And apparently, that's a lot to fucking ask for. But you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have my cry. Because that's how you get through things, is you actually have the emotions. And you realize that this will go. These feelings will pass. Tomorrow I will feel better. I knew that yesterday. What I needed yesterday was my hand to be held. That's a lot of work. It's so much easier to just say, you know what you need to do is open some curtains and you'll snap out of it. Oh my God. Well, the way it sounds, he will need surgery in the future too. And you know what? I believe that I do the right thing, at least most of the time. I just hope when the time comes that I am not feeling so vindictive to treat him the same way back, because nobody deserves it, but anger can do miserable things. And right now, I'm pretty positive I know who I am and how I react to things. But it is really, really hard for me right now to not feel all the hurt that I felt in the hospital a week ago. And not feel like he deserves to be alone too. But nobody does. All their being alone will make you stronger. Yeah, it makes you stronger, but it also makes you numb. And I don't want to be that person that doesn't give a shit about how somebody else feels. Because it doesn't make me a good person if I do the same thing that I don't want done to me to somebody else. I don't care. I don't care if they cheated on me. I don't care if they hurt my precious ego. You know, there was a time where I thought that, oh my God, I can't be with a cheater. But the reality of it is people don't cheat if there's nothing wrong with the relationship. And when you're in a relationship where somebody isn't giving you or validating your needs at all, like, it's hard not to seek that validation somewhere else, especially if somebody else is willing to just give it to you. But that generally is because they're not really in a good place either. I don't think there's stories about healthy people hooking up and cheating. I think that there's very serious issues in those relationships that led somebody to do that, and that you're just as responsible for somebody cheating on you as they are. Because the truth is if somebody gave you the attention that you were seeking, you'd be cheating too, more than likely. And if you resist it, it's because you just don't want to sink to that level because of your own ego. In the end, it has nothing to do with right and wrong. It has to do with not validating other people's feelings. And you know what? So fucking what if somebody else wants your fucking attention? You're in a goddamn relationship. Why is that so fucking horrible? All they want is your fucking attention. God, I can remember listening to that when I was a fucking kid. I was a kid trying to raise a kid. But I had already had Mariah, and my mom would try to convince me that I should just leave her sit there and cry. And I did. I did because she told me it was the right thing to do. It was not the right thing to do. All she wanted was my fucking attention, and that's it. It was bullshit. But I did it because I thought I was doing the right thing. And you know what? When I say it, it sounds ridiculous. It's a baby that wants attention. And we don't want to give it to him? I mean, it's your fucking girlfriend that wants attention. That's it. It's all she fucking wants. And you don't want to give it to her. Whatever. You do what you have to, but then when you're being cheated on, don't be fucking surprised. Yeah, they made that choice and it's not right. But they are human and that other person can only withstand so much shit too. So, to sum this all up, I don't think being alone is some kind of thing you need to learn. I think that personally, whereas right now I'm glad I'm alone, but it's because the fishing pond is leaving a lot of sharks. That's all it's left. People that just want to trample on each other because of whatever their fucking reasons are. And you realize that you just don't even want to deal with the sharks anymore, and it's just fucking easier to be alone. I, like everybody else, would love to have a fulfilling, meaningful relationship. But I want that relationship to be with somebody that gives me attention when I ask for it. Shows up at the hospital and holds my hand. Why? Because I asked them to. Shows up at a family dinner to be by my side for no other reason than to be there next to me. That's the kind of relationship that I want. And if I'm not going to get that, if I got to be punished for wanting some attention, you can take your relationship and shove it. Then I'd rather be alone. But that's not because it's some kind of wonderful, unknown mystery. It's because you eventually come to the realization that people suck. And it's either be alone and learn how to persevere, or strap yourself to somebody that's just going to make you feel like you're not enough. And I would rather fulfill my own destiny than limit myself to somebody that's going to tell me that I'm not enough, that I'm never going to be who they view as perfect. Because emotions are messy. And yeah, I suppose I could take a bottle of pills and take all the emotions away so every day is the fucking same. But I guess, you know what? After everything that I've been through and the bottles of pills that I've been through, I would rather be emotional and have a blue day once in a while than feel nothing, than to have a friend that really needs me and be so emotionless that I can't even show up at the hospital and hold their hand. That's not the person I want to be. I want to be the person that shows up and holds your hand and cries with you. That's who I want to be.